From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon, and thank you for joining me on Afternoons LA. When the news got even hotter this afternoon, who knew? We had a tumultuous week with the Dow crashing 1,100 points after that CPI, the inflationary number, released on the 13th this week. But today we started even worse. When Federal Express, yes, the transport company FedEx, reported that they have to withdraw guidance for the whole rest of the year because the economy is going to be in such turmoil. They said there's going to be a global recession, and they had to withdraw guidance. That crashed the markets, that crashed the transports, and the situation's unraveling left and right. Meantime, major U.S. banks says the markets are completely overvalued and expect more bad news coming on the horizon. I'll have the latest details on that report. And then, I told you to watch that Treasury yields, the bond traders. We started this week with a 3.7 when we hadn't yet had them crash the markets. It grew to 3.78. Today, 3.9. Yes, folks, the highest level of that Treasury yield since 2007. This is why you have to get a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. And to this recording, we're going to go over those incredible fourth stimulus checks. They are huge. Tens of thousands of dollars arriving in just about 3 days. Massive sums of money. 14 categories of about 300 checks, about $300,000. And one viewer this week, yesterday, getting another $30,000 on top of her existing $140,000 she's gotten from this channel, bringing her grand total to nearly $170,000. She's not alone, because we've had a lot of viewers in the 666 category. Over $100,000 viewers are getting from this channel. We'll show you how to get it in today's recording. Plus, we'll be looking back at what we learned this week with the major developing details of inflation with that CPI on Wednesday, the PPI on Thursday, and also the retail sales and what it means for raising your benefits. The lifetime of stimulus, SSI, SSDI, Social Security and Rail benefits, thousands of new dollars are coming to you. I'll explain to you how and when. It's incredible, great news. For the shores of Santa Monica, California, it's Afternoons. I'm excited you're here with the breaking news for a September 16, 2022. It all starts right here, right now, as Afternoons LA gets underway. Afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a beautiful day. And thank you for joining me on a big broadcast for September 16, 2022. And stay with me all weekend long because we will have a lot of breaking news to go over this weekend. You know, it's left and right. There's just a lot happening. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Hope you had a great week as well. Thank you for staying with me all week. The numbers have been through the roof because there has been a lot of breaking news. And we're going to go right into that. Starting right now. The latest details started shortly after the close of the markets yesterday, Thursday, when Federal Express, yes, FedEx, was so horrific in its guidance that everyone was just shocked. Federal Express did not downward guide for the whole rest this year. They actually withdrew their downward guidance because they said it's too optimistic. They basically withdrew it and said, one, there's a global recession underway and it's going to get very worse. Number two, they're going to miss all their what they were looking to get. And number three, that they believe that shipments will significantly worsen. There'll be less business for them across the board. This crashed what's called the transportation companies fell dramatically. We started the markets opening today with FedEx itself down 24% in one day. A quarter of its valuation gone in 24 hours. The Dow Jones fell 335 points on the news to open the market, down 1%. NASDAQ down another 2% today as well. You know, they've been crashing all week since that inflationary number was released on Tuesday, the consumer price index number, and the stocks crashed 1,100 points. The reaction to the news with FedEx was exactly what you thought. FedEx is viewed as a bellwether, a stock that you could take as comfort in. It's not going to have much fluctuation. No longer the case. But I think one of the things we see in this pandemic and post-pandemic economy is that different sectors are having different cycles. This says Robert Teeter of Silvercrest Asset Management today. No doubt the news was not positive, but it'll certainly tell you the importance of margins going forward. He's talking about profitability. The situation continued when similar situated companies really got hit dramatically, like logistics down 6%. Transportation stocks were not the only ones being hurt. The entire market was hurt today. Everything was hit by the news announcement from Federal Express. And the comments came from JP Morgan's Brian Osselbeck that said, against the backdrop of a slower e-commerce growth, slower economy, we now believe that FedEx will continue to trade in a depressed earnings situation. Wow, that is huge. What are you thinking about the situation? What is your view of the situation? Not good? Jump in the live chat. Not good or great? Well, I can already project what you're going to say because guess what? The University of Michigan projected it today. The University of Michigan's consumer confidence number came out Friday. I told you it was coming today. We talked about it since last week. And that gauges the consumer, you and your confidence. And even if you wear lobster shorts, you're not any more confident. Let's just make that clear. Even if you go get a San Francisco hairstyles, you're just not any more confident. It's just, it's just not going to help. And even if you do eat $12 ice cream in front of me, I will say, where's the bacon? The consumer confidence number coming from University of Michigan, this is for September, was a 59.5, which is lower than Wall Street expected, but slightly higher than the month of July. It's not a good number. It's basically saying people are not confident. With continued declines in energy prices, this is the lowest reading since last September, said the director of consumer surveys, Joanne Hugh. She says it's the worst number we've seen since September 2021. It does show a little bit of improvement compared to the prior month, but I think it's basically flat. I mean, improvement 0.1% is basically flat in my opinion. Now, I love this next quote. I love this next quote because you and I have been talking about, you need to get as much stimulus as you can, get as much stimulus checks as you can, because the financial hurt is going to hit really badly in January next year. I was the first broadcaster of financial news to report earlier this year that the U.S. economy would suffer recession. No one thought that would ever happen. They thought I was crazy. But I made very clear at the time that the recession is going to start really feeling the hurt in January of 2023. The financial cliff, I said, was in this month, in which people are going to have a wake-up call. Well, the wake-up call clearly was this week, with the Dow Jones hitting down day after day, the lowest levels we've seen across the board. But here's Bank of America. Bank America, the U.S. bank, says, you're too overvalued. You are too high in the sky, Wall Street. And we think you're going to get clamored, hammered, pummeled. The Bank of America's latest comments came out from its economist, Savita Subramanian, who said today, stocks are cheaper, but they're still not cheap enough. You're too overvalued. We've been talking about this a lot, that Wall Street just wants to see everything is great, 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 beautiful, buy, and they're going to get hurt. She says the multiples are too high, especially in this type of environment, that those multiples, the valuations of these stocks, will get crushed because there's too much euphoric, unjustified optimism on Wall Street in view of this U.S. economy. Okay, here is the major story. You know that I've been talking about this all this week. And if you've watched at least one video every day this week on the channel, which I hope you have watched what has happened. It's the 2-year bond. The 2-year bond. Bonds go up when stocks go down. Bonds go up when they believe that the Federal Reserve is going to raise interest rates. Bonds go up when there's more inflation and they believe the Federal Reserve is going to raise more interest rates. Bonds go up when there's more recessionary pressure. Let's look and see what has happened since just 24 hours ago when you watched the show yesterday. Yesterday, I reported to you the following progression of that 2-year bond in just a few hours. It was a 7.3 before the crash of the markets on Tuesday. The crash of the stocks brought the bond yields up to about a 7.3 on Tuesday after that consumer price index number was released for inflation. That number for that 2-year bond is the highest level we've seen since 2007. It's nearly 20 years we've never seen a number this high. But that was Tuesday. Wednesday, about to a 2.75. Thursday, Thursday, you saw on this channel. I broke the news yesterday. I was shocked. You see my eyes right now? I was shocked. 2.8. We were 2.7 lows on Tuesday, and then we're 2.8 on Thursday. What are we today? Today, my friends, we are, with that 2-year bond, a 3.9. A 3.9. Just insane. Insane. When I said 2.7, I meant 3.7. Insane. 3.9. We went from a 3.73 on Tuesday to a 3.75 on Wednesday to a 3.8 on Thursday. And now today to a 3.9. That is insane. If that looks like a worrisome environment, it should. Ultimately, if you have money in bonds or you want to put money in the bank, that is great news for you. Do not put it in stocks. Absolutely. And finally, the major comment that coming in minutes ago from Dominic Wilson, who's at Goldman Sachs, smart guy. He says, the situation is very clear. We will have a solution to inflation. We will solve inflation. It will be called recession. Recession will eliminate the inflation. The basic story is simple. With only a significant recession, that the downside is that a recession will solve this inflation. Meantime, overseas, the situation is getting worse for them, compared to us. The bond, the pound sterling in England is at a 37-year low versus the U.S. dollar. My goodness. This, my friends, is why you have to get a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. The incredible great news is that there's a massive stimulus checks, huge sums of money that are in every U.S. state, and they continue to grow left and right. Overnight, I learned that one of the longtime viewers of this channel, Dragon, also triple member to all 3 channels, and longtime volunteer, got another $30,000 of forced stimulus from this channel. Another $30,000. That's on top of her $140,000, bringing her grand total to now $170,000. This is one person. This is one person and one family. $170,000. And if you think that's rare, no. We've had the wonderful Mark get $166,000 earlier this year. We had the wonderful Lorraine get over $155,000. If Mark or Lorraine are watching, send me a private message because I want to know the update, because you potentially have gotten more money. We have Anisi that keeps on getting money. She's gone from 50 to more. And we've had Johnny, who's gotten enormous sums of money, over $250,000 for his neighbors and friends. And between him and his 2 immediate family members, clearly $200,000. Big success stories. And how do we get this incredible sums of money? First, you go onto this video, you become a member. Join this channel. You're watching LALATE. LALATE 1, LALATE 2, and LALATE 3, 3 broadcasting channels in this broadcasting family. Number 2, get that membership newsletter delivered from me to you via the YouTube alerts for members. It's delivered 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which on the East Coast is 10 o'clock. The Midwest, Central, 9. You go in that membership newsletter, you apply for those incredible checks. How many checks? 14 categories of clearly 300 possible checks, 300 possible $1,000 for you, and tens of thousands of dollars, $10,000, $20,000, $19,000 are being delivered in 3, 5, and 7 days to viewers of this channel because they are pouncing. They are doing it so well, and congratulations to all those incredible success stories. Let's look at some of those incredible checks right now. The first 3 checks, the history are, they started in the month of March. Those first 3 checks I call checks A, B, and C. They were passed by executive action. of Joseph Biden. Huge sums of money. Viewers are getting them in just days. $100,000. You qualify. First three checks, A, B, and C. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. If you're on benefits, go get it as well. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, and veterans benefits. Go get these incredible checks across the board. You qualify. Then, about 4 weeks ago, Congress passed a bill that established the next four checks, E through K. E through K, incredible sums of money. Checks like $14,000 a check. Huge. Go get those incredible checks. Then, since then, I have now found other checks which are all in the membership newsletter, along with those first checks I just went over. The brand new checks, L and M, N and O, P and Q. Some checks upwards of $100,000 a check. Become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP, and get these incredible checks, deliver information for you in the membership newsletter, delivered from me to you Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The other major story we're working on, of course, is that latest details on the raise of your benefits. Get ready to celebrate. Get ready to celebrate because your benefits are going up a lot. Thousands and thousands of new dollars are coming to you if you're on SSI and SSDI. Also, if you're on veterans benefits. Also, if you're on RB. Thousands and thousands of dollars in 1 year and thousands of dollars going forward a lifetime. Let's go over why and how this changed this week. Your benefits got that great news this week on Tuesday when the Consumer Price Index for the month of August was released. You know how this works because we've been covering it a while on this channel, but welcome to the new members. Let me explain what's at issue. Your benefits are tied to something called COLA, C-O-L-A, which determines how much your benefits go up. But COLA is determined by another number, the CPI-W, released in July, for the month of July, for the month of August, and for the month of September. Specifically, it's a subsection of the CPI. It's called the CPI-W. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Back in July, the CPI released on August 10th surged to a whopping 8.5%. Great news. We wanted that CPI to basically stay the same in the next 2 more months. August released this week, September 13th, and then the September number released October. What did we get this week? We got that the headline number actually went up, not down, and the component parts number went up as well. So we're looking really good overview before we go into the details. We have 1 more month of data, but here is where it gets really exciting. The third and final month of data for that CPI-W for this month, September, will be released on October 13th, the breaking news you're hearing right now. The third and final month will be released October 13th. That's for what we're experiencing right now in September. But it gets better than that. Why? Because the Federal Reserve did not meet in the month of August, so there is no interest rate spike that will impact what's occurring right now in this economy, the month of September. So whatever you see in September is likely to be what will happen in the month of September, released on October 13th. Number 2, the Federal Reserve meets in about a week and a half, but whatever they do will be too late in the month. So whatever you see in the supermarket, milk and eggs, whatever you see at the pump, gasoline, is likely to be the reality of what is announced on October 13th. Now, let's go over all the details across the board. You, if you're on SSI and SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, this is you. Number 2, a lifetime of stimulus. Because once your benefits go up, they never go down. So let's say they go up 11% this year. That is a lifetime, not just 1 year. Number 2, this is for you if you're on multiple benefits. Number 3, the same percentage of raise for everyone. It's the law. This is happening. And number 4, some of you 5,000, some of you less, some of you more, but thousands of dollars. Thousands of more dollars over your lifetime. This is incredible, great news. So now we have a lot more detail that we're going to go over starting right now that we did not have earlier in the week. The breaking news is we now have the CPI-W for July, the CPI-W for the month of August, and then you and I are going to discuss the CPI-W we're experiencing right now in the month of September. You ready? Here we go. The CPI-W for the month of July came in at 8.7%. The CPI for the month, CPI-W for the month of August came in at 8.9%. So it went up a little bit across the board. What do you and I believe is happening right now in that CPI-W for this month of September? You and I can do this analysis because we've done it before and we've gotten it right because you're in different parts of the country. So jump in that live chat, post which state you're in, and also post what you see as we go through the individual components that make up the CPI-W starting right now. First, let's do the easy stuff. The easy stuff is salaries. Do you see the salaries going down? No, of course not. Do you see the salaries flat or higher? You have to say yes, because we have enough data that says that's the case. We have the non-farm payroll number released a few days ago. And of course, we had that CPI-W for the month of August released this September 13th that showed real wages are going up about 0.3%. So are wages going up in your state salaries? Of course they are. That's easy. Number two, rent, also really easy. Is rent going down in your state? Of course not. Is rent stabilized or going higher? The answer is going higher. Why do we have that? 30% of the CPI is rent, and we had that number released today. We had that number released this week from that CPI on September 13th. It showed that the rent went up nearly 1% in 1 month. So those are the easy ones. Let's do the little bit more difficult ones. Let's go over to milk and eggs. Milk and eggs, cheaper, higher, or the same? Jump in the live chat and write, Purple Hawks, what you see. In the month of August, the food did go up. The food did go up nearly 1 percentage point. And that's the total of the food. So in Los Angeles, I see the yogurt going up a lot. I see the eggs going up still. I see the milk coming down. So what do you see? If you see it going up and write the state you're in. And I believe nationwide the products are going up on average this month, in the month of September. The next one is potentially an easy answer as well. It was a number that surprised many people this week. It's the Medicare cost services. That surged dramatically in the month of August. Again, another 1 percentage point up. So do you see medical services cheaper this month? Of course not. That's easy. Do you see them about the same or higher? I believe they're higher. So of all those items, where's anything going down? Well, gasoline has gone down, but gasoline is offset by everything that you and I just discussed in the live chat. The salaries, the rent, the milk and eggs, and the medical services. So there you go. With that, do you believe that the CPI-W will be about the same or the higher? Jump in the live chat right now. Give me your answers. Here is the history of those CPI-Ws again. In July, the CPI-W was 8.7. In the month of August, it was 8.9. Jump in the live chat and write what state you're in and what CPI-W you think it's going to be. Again, it was 8.7, then to 8.9. I think it's going to be 8.9. I think it's going to be 8.9. I mean, it could be 9, but I think it's going to be about the same as the prior month. Now, we still got a few more days left of the month, so things could still change across the board. All right, with that, let's go over analysis. The analysis is how much your benefits will go up based upon these CPI-Ws. I'm going to tell you one group's analysis. Then I'm going to give you, as for your analysis, and then I'll give you my reaction. The Seniors League, nonprofit organization, they are just giving you analysis. It's not data. It's not etched in stone. It's just their analysis. They saw that CPI-W go up from the month of July to August, but they predicted that your benefits would go up less, even as the CPI-W was going up higher. Excuse me? It doesn't make any sense, and I'm not going to explain it because I don't agree with it. They had said your benefits were going to go up 10% in July with the July data. When the August data came in higher, then they said, no, now we say your benefits are going to go up 8.7%. I don't buy it. What is my projection? What is your projection? What do you think your benefits are going to go up based upon this CPI-W now scooting higher? Do you think your benefits are going to go up 8.7, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14? I think at the way we're tracking, it looks like it's about 11% up. I think it looks like it's about 11% up, but we still got more days. And remember, it's not apples to apples. There's a lot of variables at issue. Now, finally, the last important thing to go over. I covered it for the first time, I think it was 2 days ago. And viewers really love that I covered it because it is very important to you. It is difficult to follow, so I'm going to slow it down to make sure you understand it. What I'm going to cover for the next 2 minutes is only for people on Medicare Plan B. Medicare Plan B costs last year went up enormously because of one medication. And because the Medicare Plan B costs went up so dramatically last year, those higher medical costs consumed any raise of your benefits you got that year because those medical costs were so high. That, however, will not ever be happening again because Congress passed a bill that removed that one prescription medication cost that was so expensive. Here's the detail. Last year, your benefits went up 5.9%, but if you were on Medicare Plan B, you saw that eaten up by one medication cost that rose your Plan B benefits costs 15%. 15% versus your benefits going up 6%. Yeah, that was not a good situation. So they got rid of that medication permanently from billing. So they didn't get rid of the medication. They got rid of the billing of the medication at those rates. It is forever gone. So Plan B viewers, no longer worry. Your benefits will no longer be consumed by your medical costs ever again. It's incredible great news. And thank you for following me because I know that is very difficult, but it's so important for you to grasp. In the second half, we're going to go over all these incredible checks. Huge. 14 categories of 300 checks that yield you up to $300,000. As one viewer got again, $170,000. One viewer for her and her family. It's not alone because it's happening all the time where viewers are getting six figures from this channel. Could you be in the six-figure club? I think you can. How do you do this? You go under this video, become a member to either LATE 1, LATE 2, or LATE 3, the three broadcasting channels of this family. Then you get that membership newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and you stay with me over the second half as I go over all these incredible checks one at a time. Plus, we'll be going back into what's going to happen in the next 7 days as we're inking closer to the Federal Reserve's meeting and Wall Street's wake-up call. Has it happened? I'll have the analysis, and I'll also have the data. It's a big second half you don't want to miss. I'll see you back in 60 seconds. In the meantime, make sure you go to this video, join the channel, and we're going to go over all this incredible money for you in the big second half. Stay informed, stay focused. See you back in just 60 seconds as the breaking news from the shores of Santa Monica continues on Afternoons.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And and then afternoons LA Late at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LA Late.
And the excitement continues on a big second half on the shores of Santa Monica, California. Hope you have a beautiful day, and thank you for joining me. The programming continues throughout the day with a brand new evenings at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Meantime, jump into the live show if you're not watching it right now, and jump over to LA1 for Stimulus Live airing throughout the day, and also to LA3 for Crypto Live airing on that channel as well. In this big second half, we're going to go over all these incredible checks that you deserve and you want to go get. How do you get them? You go onto this video, join the channel, become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Parrot Casino VIP, and go get those incredible checks. Remember, the first 3 checks passed by the President of the United States by executive action, checks A, B, and C. About $100,000 just in those first 3 checks. Then Congress passing the next 7 checks, E through K. Thereafter, I'm finding for you L through Q for the Purple Power, lots of massive other checks thereafter, bringing it to a grand total at the moment of 14 categories of upwards of 300 checks and close to $300,000. Let's go over the details. First, you want to go onto this video, become a member. Then you get that membership newsletter delivered via the YouTube member alerts to you Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's Pacific Standard Time. You go down the membership newsletter, you find check A, click the link, you go in and apply. B, click the link and go and apply. C, it tells you who to call. E through Q, go in, click the link and go and apply. So simple. The largest of all the checks, $100,000. The smallest of all the checks, I think maybe $8,000. The routing times for the checks, many checks are just 3 days. Tens of thousands of dollars. Incredible. And you qualify. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. If you rent, if you own, if you're on benefits, if you're not on benefits, go get it as well. It's from the federal government. It's not from your state. So do not ask, is it in my state? The check, it comes from the federal government. The checks come from the federal government. The check does not know what type of hairstyle you have. And the check does not know where you live either. So it has no relevancy to where you live across the board. Now, these are the massive sums of money. And the big success stories continue to come on in. That one success story today of $170,000 is not alone. Mark getting $166,000. Lorraine passing far over $150,000. Then Johnny getting for his neighbors over $250,000. For himself, $80,000, and for his 2 family members, $50,000 in just 1 week. These success stories of massive sums of money are absolutely happening left and right. Johnny got that $80,000, remember, in less than 3 days. It's just absolutely heartwarming. You want to become a member, go out of this video, get these incredible checks, and pounce and get them today. These are massive sums of money, and they're in addition to that lifetime raise of your benefits. As more checks come out, I will feature them for you on this channel. Let's go back into where we are dealing with currently with the state of this economy, the reaction of the White House, the upcoming FOMC meeting of the Federal Reserve, and everything you need to know. Remember, this channel has gotten viewers close to $50 million of stimulus since it launched in 2020. It's all in the membership newsletter. Become a member right today. The situation today with the markets is much what you and I had discussed over the last few weeks, when we were deeply worried that the markets had not embedded the risk of all these negative events happening into the markets. And at the time, we were talking merely about the Federal Reserve, that the markets had not embedded the risk of more interest rate spikes into from the Federal Reserve into the markets, and that could be the major cause of financial catastrophes for the markets. Well, today we realize that there may actually be more risks that the markets are not embedding into their activity. What are the markets? Wall Street. What are the risks? Federal Reserve interest rate spikes throughout the rest of this year into next year, number one. Number two, that the stocks are overvalued. That the stocks are very overvalued because the companies are not going to be making the type of earnings in 2022 that they made in 2021. Number three, that the markets have not assessed the risk of a prolonged recession that continues for 2 years. And number four, that the markets have not assessed all the other impacts of financial downturning, such as loss of consumer confidence, loss of consumer savings, loss of consumer spending. Are those things going to happen? Of course they're going to happen. We all know those things are going to happen. But here's the problem, is that Wall Street is running on fumes. And let's be very clear, because I love that comment from Bank of America today. They basically said, there's a lot of non-institutional investors. It's a way to say novices. It's a way to say politely amateurs. There's a lot of amateurs out there that have only lived throughout their lifetime as adults seeing a bull market. They're potentially in their 20s, they're potentially in their early 30s, and they've only known good times straight up stocks, great times for crypto, great times for real estate, straight up. You buy, you hold, and you sell. Pretty simple, right? Not when you endure 2 years of everything straight down. Here is my analysis and my commentary today. If you have never lived through a time in which there's nothing you can invest in that's going up, you have no reference point. In the last, let's just use the last 2 years example. In the last 2 years, you could have bought stocks that went up. You could have bought real estate going up. You could have bought cars, they went up. Imagine in the next 2 years, there's nothing you can buy and it's going to have a higher value. In fact, anything you would buy loses value in the next 2 years. Imagine how frantic that is. And you've never seen that during your lifetime as an adult. That is what is going to be happening. And people who are in their 20s and 30s that have never seen that before, that really everything, appearing on broadcast media to appearing on YouTube, appearing on TikTok, they don't know what that feels like. And they're not potentially prepared for it. And that's why, as investors, will crash the markets. Non-institutional investors, which are banks, and have people in their 40s and 50s and 60s and have top economists on staff, they know what happens. It's everyone else that's not prepared for it. Here's what you need to know. Housing market's currently under that downward turn. And the downward turn of the housing market is going to get far worse. The housing market, the bond yields, you already see it today. You already saw those bond yields now to 3.9 that were at 3.7 earlier this week. Imagine what's going to happen to the mortgage rates. Those 2 and 3% mortgage rates that YouTubers talk about that they locked in over the last 3 years, good. But you want to go out and buy a mortgage rate today? It's at 6%. Where is it going to go after 6%, 7%? Is anyone going to be able to buy a home at 7% mortgage? No. Is anyone going to be able to sell a home at 7% mortgage? No, you want to have buyers. And so if you need to sell a home, if you really need to sell a home because perhaps you're flipping it, sell it now, please. Please sell it now. If you have to buy a home, I don't know why you would have to, but let's say you have to buy a home, go buy it right now and get that mortgage rate because it's going to be insane. You're not going to be able to afford it. We have all the housing data that continues to implode left and right, and that housing data is a downward spiral. Let's go over to stocks. Stocks. There was one company that came out today that gave guidance that Tesla could go up another $40, which would be $120 because it just recently tripled. That's fine for that stock, but I want you to understand that's not the narrative of what's at issue. When we have one stock, FedEx, which is a good company, it's a core part of the U.S. economy and landscape, down 24% in one day. A quarter of its value gone in one day. Imagine how significantly wrong Wall Street had that calculation. They had really got to that valuation wrong, and they heard that statement, and then they got shocked. It's going to happen all the time. Number 3, crypto. When you look at crypto, People are saying, oh, crypto winter. Earlier this year, they said crypto winter, 1 month, 2 months. Oh, Luna's down, or, Bitcoin fell under 30,000. It'll be under 30,000 for a few weeks and then come back. No, no. Who told you that crypto winter only has to be 2 months in time in which cryptocurrency is devalued? No. Down times are not 2 weeks. Devaluation periods are not 2 weeks. And that is why you need to have great data in front of you. The data delivered from me to you on this channel is the following. We have monthly the CPI, the PPI, and the retail sales released over a consecutive of 3 days every month by the U.S. Department of Labor and significant agencies like BLS. The CPI is a month delayed, the PPI is a month delayed, and the retail sales is a month delayed. The consumer price index is what gauges your spending: milk and eggs, rent, gasoline. The next day, the PPI gauges how much the wholesaler pays for the products, like the supermarket, and the retail sales gauges how much you spent on products. For example, it's not how many products you're buying, it's how much those products cost. If you bought 1 gallon of milk in July at $3, and then you bought that same 1 gallon of milk in August at $4, the retail sales number went up because the product is more expensive. That's an indication of inflation. In between those three numbers, we also have numbers for inflation coming from the Personal Consumption Expenditure Index, the PCE. Generally released on Fridays. Is coming in about a week from now. I'll have the latest details on that. Then, over to housing. We have the new home starts, the existing home starts, and the price of the homes and the days on the market and builders' confidence released about once a month. That's coming up in a few days. Over to labor. Labor, we have the jobless claims number released weekly every Thursday morning on this channel. I've had it for the 2 years this channel has been around. Exciting. That number came lower than expected yesterday at 214,000, down from about 224 the week before, but it's basically flat. The unemployment number is a monthly number from the non-farm payroll number. Job creation is a very important number. That job creation number is down in the month of August, down to about 300,000 from about 550 the month before. And that number was released once a month. Yesterday, we had the manufacturing number, which was critical. Manufacturing showed, are we growing as economy or contracting as economy? The manufacturing number showed, the Philadelphia Fed manufacturing number showed we were contracting. If it's a negative number, smaller economy. Positive number, bigger economy. And the number was a negative 10, a negative 10. They were looking for a positive number, like a 1, 2, or 3. You see what's going on. You see what's going on. The analysis, the predictions are wrong. Manufacturing expecting to grow, it shrunk. People thinking that FedEx is a great place to be invested in, and then seeing 24% of their value gone in 24 hours. The Federal Reserve and the White House giving commentary, but the White House's commentary really out to bounds, out to left field. The President of the United States saying that manufacturing is growing. It's not. Saying that job creation is growing. It hasn't. Those jobs numbers fell in job creation from 500 to 200,000. The manufacturing numbers showing that the U.S. economy is shrinking. Touting that labor is strong is not going to work. I've been doing this for a long time on this channel. Every time the president says that the labor market's strong, hence the economy is strong, is wrong. I was going to say something else. It's childish economics. It really is. It's childish economics. Childish economics is saying really beyond basic stuff incorrectly and trying to sell it to people to make sure they understand it. There's no recession because the labor market's strong. We're a great economy because the labor market's strong. This is childish economics because the way that a recession works is the labor market falls apart late in a recession. You don't get to sit back and say there's no recession because the labor market's strong at the start of the recession. That's childish economics. And with Janet Yellen as a Treasury staff on Treasury in that cabinet team, she should not allow the President of the United States to say stuff like that. She shouldn't. Now, you can say other things like, well, the labor market's currently strong, and that's positive signs. Yeah, you can say that, but you don't get to say there's no recession because the labor market's strong. You don't get to say that. You don't get to say that. And you don't get to ignore data that indicates that we are in a recession. 2 negative quarters of GDP growth. The housing market clearing a recession, says the National Association of Home Builders. This is why you have to get all this stimulus. We are here as a family to really encourage one another, to celebrate one another's achievements. So if you've had a success story in getting massive stimulus or any stimulus, whether it's $100 or tens of thousands of dollars, post in the live chat right now, inspire other people. This week, we've had Lynn Glenn get 12 months of utilities. We also had another viewer get 12 months of utilities. 2 viewers getting 14 months of rent. Insane. Absolutely incredible. Well, the incredible success stories follow with Nisi getting massive sums of money, Spelly getting checks A and C, and those success stories have been on this channel across the board. Here's Mark, here's Nancy, Nisi, and Nancy for combinations of checks. Here is Angela for utilities. Here's Elizabeth for rent, topping nearly $30,000 of rent. You deserve all these incredible sums of money, and that's why you gotta get them. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, thank you for joining me on a big afternoon. The shows continue throughout the day with a brand new evening delight at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time tonight, followed by 6 o'clock's extra countdown. At 7 o'clock is Stream Stimulus, 8 o'clock is extra, 9 o'clock is sunset, and the program continues throughout the night. Meantime, jump over to LA1 for live watch right now. Jump over to LA2 for Stimulus Live and to LA3 for Crypto Live. And new shows coming to this channel as well. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, thank you for all your incredible comments and thank you for watching today. I'll look forward to seeing you throughout the day. And if you become a triple member or if you have a success story, tag me and I will feature you in the show as well. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, God bless. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. And join me all weekend long because we got a lot of shows then as well. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, stay informed, stay focused, and stay with Ballet for more.